呢個
喂，屌佢老味減3喎而家。
慢慢等啦，番薯。
屌，阿校長走撚咗場。
校長斷線嘅。
係啊，戇鳩。仆街唔通真係要玩喪屍圍城？
你拋棄我哋啊！
壽司圍城我聽緊佢話。
你中出完我哋即飛啊嘛！
嚇！我係俾啲喪屍中出完咯。
喂，屌佢老母啊！拆緊竇啊！仆街！
我屌！
有啦，有咯。
喺屋企。
There's something amiss. You call. My talents are yours. You call. Yes, right away. My talents are yours. You call.
What is it now? Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. Finally. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Faithless coward. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Oh, sure. At last. This is more like it. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Our allied town is being
Frostmourne
attacked.
hungers. Finally. This is more like it.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
Finally. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. Now, Frostmourne. At last. Finally. This is more like it.
Our allied town is being
At
attacked.
last. Finally. What is it now?
Our allies' hero has been
No
slain.
one orders me around. At last. This is more like it. What is it now? Tread lightly.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Finally.
Our
At
allied
last.
town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Tread lightly. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Finally. Frostmourne
Our
hungers.
allies' hero has been
This
slain.
is more like it. Finally. What is it now? At last. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. For the Lich King. This is more like it.
Our
Tread
allied
lightly.
town is being attacked.
Tread lightly. Now, at last. I'll make sure you suffer. Finally. This is more
Our
like
allied
it.
town is being attacked.
At last. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. This is
We're under attack.
at last. This
Our
is
allied town is being attacked.
at last. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly.
Our allied
Speak,
town is
fool.
being attacked.
Tread lightly. This is more like it. Finally.
Our
This is more
allied hero
like it.
has been slain.
Finally. This is more like it. At last. What is it now? This is more like it. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. At last. Finally. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Your pain shall be lifted. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Tread lightly. Finally. Speak, fool. At last. Finally. At last. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. What is it now? Speak, fool. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Finally. At last. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. What is it now? Finally. Frostborn hungers. At last. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Tread lightly. What is it now? Finally. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. Finally.
Our allied town is
This
being
is what-
attacked!
At last. This is more like it. No one will leave me around. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. At last.
Hello there. Greetings, friend.
Speak.
Our
fool.
allied town
What
is
is it
being
now?
attacked!
Finally. At last. This is more like it. Finally. This is
Our allied hero has been slain!
no one orders me around. Frostborn hungers. At last. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool.
Hello there.
We need more gold!
Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Finally. At last. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more like it. What is it now? At last. This is more like it. At last.
Our hero has been slain!
Lightly. Finally. This is more like it. What is it now? Tread lightly. Speak, fool. At last. You will know everything. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers.
Our allied town is being
This is
attacked!
more like it. At last. This is more like it. Finally. What is it now? Tread lightly. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. What is it now? Finally. This is more like it. Speak, fool. At last.
Our allied
Frostmourne.
town is being attacked!
Greetings,
What
friend.
is it now? Tread lightly. What is it now? At last. Finally. This is more. Tread lightly. At last. This is more like it. For the Lich King, Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At
Our
last.
allies' hero has been
Speak.
slain!
What is it now? Speak, fool. Tread
Our
lightly.
allied town is being
What
attacked!
is it now? Speak, fool. Finally. What is
Our
it?
allies' hero has been
Frostmourne
slain!
hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied town is
Finally.
being attacked!
This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
Our allied town is being attacked!
At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. At last. What is it now? Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. At last. Frostmourne. Finish, coward. What is it now? Tread lightly. Finally. This is more like it. No one orders me around. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. No one orders me around. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. No one orders me around.
Our allied hero has been slain!
Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. What is it now? Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. What is it now? Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers.
We're under
Speak.
attack!
At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. No one orders me around. At last. Tread lightly. This is more like it.
We're under attack! Our allied town is being
No one
attacked!
orders me around. At last. Finally. This is more like
Out the way.
it. What is it now? Finally. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. What is it now? Finally. Tread lightly. What is it now? No one orders me around. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Tread Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Finally. No one orders me. This is more like it. At last. Finally. At last.
Our allies' hero has
This
been
is more
slain.
Frostborn hunger. Tread lightly. What is it? You will know endless torment. For the Lich King. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. This is more like it.
Welcome
Speak,
to our
fool. What is it now? Tread lightly. No one orders me around. What is it? Speak, fool. Finally. At last. Frostborn hungers. No one orders me around. At last. This is more like it. What is it now? No one orders me around.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Finally. At last. This is more
Our
like
allied
it.
town is being attacked.
Speak, fool. What is it? No one orders me around. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Finally. Tread lightly. Frostmourne
Our
hungers.
allied town is being attacked.
This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally.
Our allied town is
This
being
is
attacked.
At last. Finally. What is it now? At last. Tread lightly. What is it now? No one orders me around. Finally.
Our allied town is being attacked. Slain.
Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me
We're under attack. Our allied town is being attacked.
At last. What is it now? Speak, fool. Finally. It's a fool to try.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Suffer. Tread lightly. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Now, this is more like it. At last. No one orders me around. What is it now? Speak, fool.
Our allied
No
town
one
is being
orders
attacked.
me around. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. This is more like it. At last. Finally.
Our allies' hero has been
last.
slain.
This is more like it.
Our allied town is being attacked.
What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. This is more like it. At last. Finally. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. No one orders me
We're
around.
under attack.
Tread lightly. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. What is it now? Speak, fool. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. What is it now? Speak, fool. What is it now? At last. Tread lightly. What is it now? Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Finally. This is more like it. Tread lightly.
Our allies' hero has
at
been
last.
slain. We're under attack. Our allied town is being
Speak.
attacked.
Finally. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. At last. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Fate's help. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. For the Lich King. Now, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Tread lightly. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne
Our
hungers.
allied hero has been slain.
Finally. What is it? No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. At last. No one orders me around. This is more like it. What is it now? No one orders me around. Tread lightly. At
We're
last.
under attack.
No one orders me around. Finally. What is it now? This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied
No
town
one
is
orders
being
me.
attacked.
Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allied hero has
At
been
last.
slain.
This is more like it. At last. Tread lightly. What is it now?
Our hero has been slain. Our allied town is being attacked.
Speak, fool. Finally. What is it now? No one orders me around.
Our
At
allied
last.
town is being attacked.
What is it now? This is more finally. At last. Finally. This is more
Our allied town is being attacked.
finally. Frostborn.
Our allied hero has been
At
slain.
last. Glory to the
Our
sky.
allied hero has been slain.
Frostborn hunger.
Our
This is
allied
more
hero has been slain.
Finally. Tread
Our
lightly.
allied town is being attacked.
Frostborn hunger. This is more like it. At last. No one orders me around. Finally. Speak, fool. What is it now? Speak, fool. No one orders me around. At last. Frostborn hunger. At last.
Our allied
This
town
is
is
more
being
like
attacked.
Finally. At last. Frostborn hungers. This is more like Frostborn hungers. At last. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Finally. At last. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Speak, fool. Frostborn hungers. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. What is it now? This is more like it. At last. Speak, fool. This
Our
is more
allied
like
hero
it.
has been slain.
Finally. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Finally. At last. What is it now? Frostborn hungers. Finally. At last. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. At last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Finally. What is it now? At last. Frostborn hungers. Finally.
Our
Speak,
allied town is being attacked.
Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more like it. At last. This is more like
Our allied town is
Finally.
being attacked.
it. What is it now? This is more like it. Speak, fool. Hunger. Tread lightly. What is it now?
Our allied town is being
This
attacked.
is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Finally.
Our allies' hero
This
has
is
been
more like
slain.
it. Finally. At last. Finally.
Our allied town is being attacked.
At last. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn
Our allied
hungers.
town is being attacked.
Tread lightly. At last. Speak, fool. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. No one orders me around. What is it now? At last. This is more like it. At last. Frostborn hungers. At last. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Glory to the scourge. This is more like it. Speak, fool. At last. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Greetings. Tread lightly. At last. This is more like it.
We're under
At
attack!
last. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. At last. Frostborn hungers. Your pain shall be legendary. What is it? Tread lightly.
Our hero has been slain.
Speak, fool. This is more like it. Me,
Our allied town is being attacked!
Speak, fool. At last. Frostborn hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Tread lightly. No
Our
one.
allied town is being attacked!
Frostborn hungers. Faithless coward. You will know end this planet. This is more like it. Finally. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. Finally. At last. Frostborn hungers. Finally. What is it now? Tread lightly. For the Lich King. Faithless coward. Frostborn hungers. For the Lich King. This is
Our
more
allied hero has been slain!
You will know endless torment. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. No one orders me around. At
Our allied
last.
town is being attacked!
Finally. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. Speak. At last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. At last.
Our allied town is being attacked!
Frostborn hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. At
Welcome
last.
to our village.
Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. No one with me around. Tread lightly. What is it now? This is more like it. At last. Finally. At last.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
This is more at last. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool.
We're under attack.
Tread lightly. Speak, fool. At last.
Our allies'
This
hero
is
has
more
been slain.
Finally. At last. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. What is it now? It is a fool to trust in the light. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Finally. At last. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne
Our allies'
hungers.
hero has been slain.
At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. At last. No one orders me.
Our allied town is being attacked.
This is more. At last. Fine. Frostmourne hunger. This is more. Fine. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Tread lightly. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. At
Our
last.
allied town is being attacked.
What is it now? Speak. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it.
Our allied hero has been slain.
At last.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. This is more like it. At last. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Tread lightly. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostborn hungers. Finally. At last. Frostborn hungers. Finally. At last. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Now, I'll make sure you suffer. Frostborn hungers. At last. No one orders me around. Finally. This is more. Finally. At last. This is more like it. At last. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
This is more like it. No one orders me around. What is it now? At last. This is more like it. At last. Finally. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more. Glory to the scourge. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. Speak, fool. What is it now? No one orders me around.
Hello there.
Speak, fool. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. What is it now? No one orders me around. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. At last. Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
Frostborn hungers.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it.
Our allied town is being attacked.
At last.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. No one orders me. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Finally. At last. Tread lightly. Finally. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. At last.
Our
This
allied town is being attacked.
Speak, fool. At last. No one is.
We're under attack. Our hero has been slain. Our allies' hero has been slain. town is being attacked!
Tread lightly. This is more like it. No one
Our
orders me
allies' hero
around.
has been slain!
Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Your pain shall
Our allied town is being attacked! Our allies' hero has been slain!
This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it.
We're under attack!
At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Our allied tower has been slain!
Finally. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Finally.
Our allied town is being attacked!
At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last.
Our
This is more
allied town
like
is
it.
being attacked!
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers.
We're under attack!
At last. Finally.
Our
For the
allied
Lich
hero has been slain!
At last. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Tread lightly. This is more like it. Finally. At last.
Our allied hero has been slain!
This is more like it.
Our allied town is being attacked!
At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Speak, fool. This
Our
is
allied town is being attacked!
Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. At last. Finally.
Our allies' hero has been slain!
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostborn hunger. This is more like it. Finally. What is it now?
Our allies' hero has been
No
slain.
one is around. Glory to the
Our
scourge.
allied town is being attacked.
Frostborn hungers. This is more like it.
Our allies' hero has
At
been
last.
slain.
This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. At last. What is it now? This is more like it.
Our allies' hero
Finally.
has been slain.
Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally.
Our allied town is being attacked.
At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Our allied town is being attacked.
At last. No one orders me. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Speak, fool. What is it now? Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more like it. What is it now? Finally. Frostborn at last.
Our allies' hero has been slain.
喂，你哋仲玩緊啊？
係啊，做咩啊？
我以為你哋完咗場添，咁耐。
俾你打完副仗啦。
玩咧，係咪想同我哋玩先？
頭先話唞夠啦。
係咪想過嚟一齊享受遊戲先？
想啊，不過係打信長咯。
屌！
我都想啊，但係俾捉住咗。
我屌鳩你 YSM 陪你玩咗咁撚多場都未陪翻我玩，我屌鳩你。
係啊，夜晚先精彩啊嘛，係咪先？
係，咁我夜晚睇你出手。
得㗎。
朝頭早唔精彩啊！朝頭早。
下話。
係。
夜晚我驚瞓着咯。玩呢一隻 game 已經好撚眼瞓啊！我想講。
認真咩？好精神喎，玩到。
毫無精神感啊，大佬！
好撚折磨啊！嗰隻死喪屍 game，屌佢老味！
屌死！
唉，我而家後悔當初叫阿 YSM 玩。
咩啊？開台壽司仔叫 YSM 玩先啊？
係啊。
聽佢哋嘢係啊。
好撚渣啊！壽司仔，海賊王又係你叫，之後冇玩又係你。
海賊王我爆咗難4咯，算係咁啦係嘛？
我爆咗難6咯。
屌鳩你哋啊！
介紹完之後冇樣嘢啊，堅持到同我哋一齊玩落去。
唉，唔堅持唉。
喂，大佬你怕通頂咁玩點跟啊？
唔係通唔通頂咯，喺度嘅時候你都係打信長。信長哥，
信長哥，
信長哥。
I've been thinking. You call. Sounds like my talents are yours. You call. My talents are yours.
Welcome to our village.
More gold.
Is there something amiss? Yes, right away. Some fateful choice. I've been thinking my talents adorned. Yes,
喂喂阿 Sir，
嗱，
indeed.
做乜做乜？
That
地圖啊，睇地圖。
右邊啊，
做啊
你俾人 A 緊啊！
哦，OK OK，
sounds
嚟緊嚟緊，
yes, right away.
睇唔到添啊問題。
That sounds like
小兵營啫，廢嘅。
好幾蚊喎，你有？
唔係廢啊，喂！我隔離嗰啲唔撚嘢少啊！
冇，
我
都叫你唔好咁信任我啦。
梗係唔得啦！你啲居民喺我隔離，點知你啲居民幫撚住咧？
變咗感染居民嘅。
Is there something amiss? You called? I've been thinking.
哇！你下邊嗰度係唔知做乜撚嘢喎？喂！嗱，我冇封，都係打你下邊嗰度喎，唔關事喎。
咁樣，
我封撚咗佢係打你下邊嗰度，我唔撚封佢係打你下邊嗰
Is
度。
there something amiss? I've been thinking.
搞乜夠？
Indeed.
平時會調，
That
平
sounds
時會調轉嘅喎呢個位。
something amiss.
喂，調啲城牆啦，仆街，
咩啊？
Indeed.
中間啊，
封撚晒原來。
Are yours. Yes, right away.
咩啊？我呢度呢啲拆咗嚟。
係啊，拆晒啦，唔使啦。
You called. Is there something
嗱，你一拆晒，即刻掉頭走啦，知唔知道啊？
點解？
因為你中間咧，你封沿路咧，佢入唔到嚟啊！
Yes,
Our allies' hero has been slain.
你一拆晒，即刻掉頭走啊！啲嘢。
阿司徒人幫起撚翻啊！
yes, right away.
司徒好撚醒啊！你鋪
Being attacked.
Indeed.
We're under attack.
我叫你炸佢有氣花，戇鳩。
Yes, right away.
做到嘢喎，司徒
Sounds like greetings, friend.
勁。
勁啊！有
Our
料啊！
allied town is being attacked.
Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. I've been thinking.
喂，林偉，今場留翻條路俾居民行。
Yes, right away. A fateful choice. That sounds like a fateful choice. Is there something
哇，好人好友，
I've been thinking?
好多錢啊！唔知想點好算。
Indeed. That sounds
科技有冇卡？
Hero has been slain.
indeed.
科技研究緊，
Is there something amiss? Yes, right away. My talents are yours. Is there something amiss? My talents are
Our
yours.
allied town is being attacked.
Point the
You
way.
called. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. My talents are yours. I've been thinking.
Our allied
My
town is
talents are
being
yours.
attacked.
You called. That sounds logical. A fateful choice. My talents are yours. I've been thinking.
Point the way.
Our
You
allied
called.
town is being attacked.
I'm thinking. That sounds logical. You called. I've been thinking. Is there something amiss? A fateful choice.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Yes, yes, right away. My talents are yours. You call. I've been thinking. Is there something amiss? I've been thinking. Is there something amiss? A fateful choice. My talents are yours.
啲追問嚟啦， 我屌浸幾都浸唔到足鐘。
We're under attack.
I've been thinking. Yes, right away. Indeed. A
喂，點解有條肥閪嘅？
有啊，第10波會出一隻咯，每個佬都會出一隻。
搞緊掂啫。
Our hero has been slain. My talents are yours. I've been thinking. You call. My talents are yours.
正，哇！保護晒，送300蚊300木喎。
即係一定要保護晒咯，簡直嚟講。
係啊，屌一定要揾人撳咯，就係。
即係你咯。
屌，
原來有隻數㗎。
係咯，依家先知喎。
Indeed. That sounds logical. My talents are yours. That sounds logical. Yeah.
爆場爆場，我推出去啦已經。
Our allies' hero has been slain.
8隻火兵應該夠啦。
There's something amiss.
希望
Yes, right away.
Our allied town is being attacked.
I've been thinking. My talents are yours. You called. I've been thinking. Is there something amiss? Indeed. You called. That sounds like. Yes, right away. Indeed. Is there something amiss?
Our allied town is being attacked.
做咩？哇！下邊有
下邊手到嘅有火兵。
借1兩隻擺佢哋俾安全你見。
好啊。
我左邊唔急推出去，但係一定佢哋坐住。
我睇上俾空你啊，俾2隻你用住先啦。嚟緊嚟緊。
應該唔使喎。
用住先啦。
唔係我同 Q 仔兩個都有咩咯？
啊有啦咩？
有啊。
出到未先？
夠啦，我本身有2隻喺度頂住啦。
哦好啦。
有呢度喎，你都係唔好拎我用住先啦。
用住先啦，用住先。
我師衝過嚟啦。
啊用住先。
你借多2隻俾佢啦，應該會守唔住嘅，如果唔係。
好啊。
有警察衝撚咗去大本嗰度。
我屌你老味！喂有警察，仆街。
係喎。
有好多幾隻俾佢啊！我哋左邊可以退噶嘛，我左邊有塔㗎我。
啊俾4隻你。
佢先啊！
俾4隻你，俾4隻你。
唔夠㗎。
嚇唔夠咁少，俾埋啲巨魔得唔得？
拖住先啦，佢哋都冇兵。
夠啊夠啊，搞掂，搞掂。
OK 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 OK。
Yes, right away.
你唔用你移翻嚟俾我咯，俾你用。
Sounds logical. Indeed.
Hello there.
Cold. Been thinking. Is there something amiss? Indeed. My talents are yours. Is there something
Our
amiss?
allied town is being
Yes,
attacked.
right away.
唉冇木啊你老母！
Yes, right away. My talents are yours.
冇木。
啊
Indeed.
我有木喎。
好少木喎。
Talents are yours.
出咗個發木工未啊你？
未啊？
Faithful choice.
傳説嗰隻未喎？
唔係傳説高級啫。
高級出咗啦。
天文又嚟啦。
Yes.
唉屌又要清又要咩？
你預咗啦。
Indeed. Sounds
Our allied town is being attacked.
Indeed. Is there something amiss? Yes, right away. I've been thinking. You called. My talents are yours.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Is there something amiss? Choice. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. I've been thinking. My talents are yours. Is there something amiss? I've been thinking. Is there something amiss?
We're under attack. Our allied town is being attacked.
I've been thinking. Yes. You call. Is there something
Our
amiss?
allied's hero has been slain.
Is there something amiss?
Our allied town is being attacked. Our hero has been slain.
唉，開始升塔先，研究下先。
OK，
啱啱開始研究嘅啫，因為我哋係衝個經濟。
見到啊，千幾經濟。我屌，上面做乜有俾人打緊？做乜銀嘅？誒，有兩個村民死咗。
做搞咩啊？點解又入咗嚟嘅準備？
係咯，我都唔知。
係咪因為上邊啊？呢度會唔會因為呢個位咧？
Allied town is being attacked.
所以我都唔知咯。起個塔穩陣。我屌有警察添喎，仆街！
打撚咗佢中級算啦，打中級咪一勞永逸咯。
係喎，屌啲兵佢。
中級同就個前線要塞打撚咗佢唔得咯。
好啊，等一陣先。
哇！特走執嚟喎，屌！
係啊，
麻撚煩。
好撚煩。
幾多兵啊？
My talents are yours.
喺呢度出啲兵先。
Is there something amiss?
你幫我起住先得唔得？
My talents are yours.
拖緊咯，但係拖唔耐咯。
Being attacked.
我起緊噴火兵。
That sounds good.
但係佢嗰邊應該入到喎，應該個位
I've been thinking.
有罅位喎，佢哋嗰度。
That sounds logical.
係有時啲兵卡咗喺嗰度啊嘛，咁導致咗咪
Indeed.
鋪到條路過嚟咯。
Choice.
你啊，
Is there something amiss?
開啲巨魔打佢。
Sounds good. I've been thinking.
We need more gold. Our allied town is being attacked.
My talents are yours. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. I've been thinking. My talents are yours. Yes, right away. Faithful choice. I've been thinking.
Our allied town is being attacked.
You call. Yes, right away. Indeed.
佢又開始俾人拗下啦呢度。
我屌佢老母啊！隻狗照衝入嚟啊！
已經升晒佢添。
喂，佢呢度喂，你呢度又係俾人打緊。喂，屌！隻狗照衝入嚟打仇恨塔嘅。
喺邊度啊？
大盤。
啊屌！有村民啊，搞掂，搞掂咗啲村民，好撚煩啲村民。 傻閪村民。
有收入嘅。
得啦，搞掂。屌你直接點解有隻狗直接行咗入嚟？
隻狗直接入嚟打佢個手銀塔啦嘛！
黐撚線。
有把聲喺呢度下邊。
邊度啊？咦？去咗過咗去啦。
好似你睇下啲狗直接入嚟嘅，點解會？
嚇？點解？
你睇下你睇下，直接入嚟做乜撚嘢啊？
嚇？咁搞笑。
係啊。
升緊能量塔㗎啦，因為1500啫嘛，可以拖下時間先。
OK。要打緊咗呢啲。
That sounds logical. Yes, right away.
Our allied town is being attacked.
You called. That sounds logical. I've been thinking. You called. I've been thinking. My telephone.
啊！條撚樣鳩下鳩下。
Yes, right. That sounds logical. I've been thinking. I've been That sounds logical. Is there something? Yes.
Our allied town is being attacked. Our allied town is being attacked.
推咗出去未？左邊，如果推到我就補塔。
等陣，企緊城牆我都。
下路盡量都起一啲近戰兵，如果咪等陣好似啲 C， 你哋啲槍手打唔到。
火兵
攤唔住嘅。
Hello there.
要等一 round 收入先可以有水晶發電機。
Our allied town is being attacked.
記得叫我。
好啊。我屌有肥佬喎，仆街！
你有超級兵未啊？
未啊，咁快有 shopping？
問下你先啫，你肥啊嘛，咪。
未有。
同我一齊儲錢啊！你呢度1700蚊玩水晶科
技。係啊，起緊嗰個水晶科技咯。
喂， 村民啊！
啊屌有村民，
Our allied
咁
tower
撚
is
fit 嘅
being
佢，
attacked.
講左上角，屌你老母喺右邊。
係咯，逼撚晒。一開始我仲係咁喺左上揾，
I've been
戇鳩。
Our allied town is being attacked.
my talents are yours. A faithful choice. That sounds logical. A faithful choice. You call. That sounds logical. Yes,
Our allied town is being attacked.
a faithful choice. Yes, right. That sounds logical. A faithful choice. Indeed.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Indeed.
Not enough.
That sounds logical. Indeed. A faithful choice. My talents are yours. Call. Is there something amiss? Yes, right away. Indeed. Sounds logical. Faithful choice. Yes, right away. A faithful choice.
Our allied town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. Indeed. Yes. I'm thinking. Indeed. Talents are yours. You call. My talents are yours.
Our allied town is being
There's
attacked.
something amiss. I've been thinking. Research complete.
喂 ，YSN 刪控先啊！
啊，我等人幫你睇啊，我等人幫你睇。而家唔得閒，而家唔得閒，係咁啊，拜拜。
That sounds logical. Faithful choice. I've been thinking. Is there something? The cult of the hand. I'm gonna wait my
Our allied town is being attacked. Our allied hero has been slain.
Is there something amiss?
Our allied town is being attacked.
Logical.
個水晶好耐啊！
Yes.
我都等緊。
Sounds logical. A faithful.
Our allied town is being attacked.
My talents are yours. Indeed. Sounds logical. Indeed. A faithful.
Our allied town is being attacked.
That sounds logical. Indeed. A faithful choice.
YSN 點解喺呢度唔圍埋個銀行嘅？
Allied hero has been slain.
知佢
YSN
仲有咩？
Our allied town is being
開
attacked.
始高級嚟啦。你哋下路頂住啊！
又打緊喎。哇聲，佢有一隻嘢，
掛緊機啊！
有一隻嘢喺度打緊啊！屌！
你問 Y 聲喺咪度先啦？3呢個咪唔知佢喺咪度。死5隻。下路搞咩啊？
冇嘢啊。
嗯。喂，又嚟？喂，幫我升個炮塔喎！喂，快啲搞咗佢！喂，我唔想啲木清零啊！屌我唔，唉仆街清零木大粒鑊。哦，唔好插住。有換家木材不足，我啦啫。
我開一開個倉庫先一陣，留一留木。
留唔到住草，3000木得我未夠。
哇！
青色
打爆咗危。OK。
你要青色出伐木工，青色得嗰啲1級伐木工嘅，因為。
好。啊，青色咁少。
係。
哇！屌400幾木條。
嗌咗佢出青高級伐木工先啦。
係咯。
level 1嘅伐木工頂唔到噶後邊。
嗱，咪借100蚊嚟啊！啊冇嘢啦，唔使借。啱啱好殺敵咗
水晶係嘛？
係啊，水晶，水晶緊啊！
青色有冇叫我啦嚇
OK。
啦，村民。
屌，痛到眼都花啦嘛！
呢度開始有多絲喎。
我咁撚多3本嘅睇上，
係啊，我爆撚晒啲人口，全部搞撚晒啲3本先，頂撚住下邊先。
咁撚誇張。
係啊，
但係你哋冇起城牆圍，你圍住一個位集中火力仲好啦，我覺得。嗱，你睇下我哋呢邊都係喺呢度守噶嘛。你清得晒呢波，我幫你起啊！
我唔係我睇唔晒咁多嘢，我起城牆，跟住啲進度又慢。我起下啲怪又過嚟打，屌！
哦，唔緊要，你起住先，我打幫你。
啱啱個波扣木好傷啊，搞到我啲木永遠都升唔到上去而家。
我有木喎，你係咪要？
未使住，即係啲塔啱啱被起完起下路冇晒，大約打等，反正錢都唔夠，反正錢都唔撚夠起。你差唔多要出超級兵啦。
我有啊，有井依啊已經。
嗯 ，OK。
OK，爆機有望。
有機啊咁就。
嗯。啊，
咁又
威Sam，你俾啲木去青色嗰度，跟住開啟咗個木材倉庫佢。咁我起塔就慳好撚多，因為我未
啊，
備200
開啊，
人口啊。
即刻開啊！
嗯。
嗯。
好啊，最後升高級㗎啦。
OK，
啊，仲研發緊啊。
仲研發高級。
係，高級炮塔要300秒啊一個。
哇！
我研發緊3個。你見唔
3個
到已經有咩能量塔啊、冰塔啊，覺得堆全部喺晒度。
見到啊，
混合嘅。
哦，出老大啦，
嗯，
睇下下邊守唔守到先呢鋪。穩陣起見出啲井要幫你做，
穩陣起見，我下邊都起咗塔俾佢啦，
我見到啊。
應該夠都啩。
我驚佢哋冇城牆咧，有啲難。
嗯，
我哋嗰邊屌打添啊！
唔
阿藍色嗰手，阿藍色嗰手到啊，藍色。唉，屌死咗啲村民嘅仆街！
村民已經唔係好關注，
會扣收入嘅喎。
收入已經太多，錢用唔晒啦，開始係木唔撚夠用。
破緊井
下邊
嘅
睇
頂住啊！
你拉過下邊救佢哋啊，幫佢哋啊！
我呢
嗰啲
邊
塔爆撚咗就冇噶啦，佢哋就冇肉盾啦，因為
驚，手緊。收到啊！佢哋搞掂啦，佢哋。我覺得我要幫佢哋起啲城牆嘅而家。
哇！炮塔起錯位，炮塔要起前線嘅，原來我屌，
即係點啊？
一隻一啲兵，雷電控者一噴後，雷電掌控者呢度
噴後啊！哦，等陣。
啊，咁樣 OK。
哇！扣800蚊，屌！
炮塔 OK，兵塔高級咗啊！
OK。
做咩下路又搞唔到啊？
收到嘅，
嗯，
有井呢都守唔到，唔係60啦。
長中都出埋嚟，
哇！長中都出埋邊，有按摩圖庫啊，全部。我哋呢邊，
當你守住嘅時候咧，你就要爆晒所有嗰啲塔噶啦。如果唔係嘅話，後邊嗰啲係守唔住。以爆塔為贏，唔係守到80日為贏，好撚難嘅。後邊嗰啲，
我知啊，有阿叔添啊。喂，你控咗啲井衣先啊，嚟住。
好，
你唔夠手就控晒啲井衣。
好，
好撚多錢。
井衣係用嚟偷嗰啲建築物嘅。
我知啊，但係嗰啲火焰嗰啲好難偷。幾錢嘅地方，好撚有錢我嘢。
錢已經多啦，錢多嘅時候咧，啲農場就爆撚咗佢。
喂，原來屌
咩啊？
哦，我知啦。
其實錢多嘅時候咧，你啲農場可以爆撚咗佢，跟住換民居同埋換人口，農場慢慢地就會自爆撚晒佢噶啦，慢慢地。
揾多啲錢先，我驚大家冇錢咁樣。
你阿媽唔係派放翻一啲錢？
係啊，但係太多都係驚等陣冇錢出兵咧，屙不甩。爆咗少少農場先。
我擔心前線守唔住多啲啫，有時就
咩話？
我擔心前線守唔住多啲。
哦，依家 OK 啦，依家都。
你最好升一升啲塔啊，啲城牆。
升緊。
有啲研究仲要時間屌。 等好耐。
哇！藍衫點玩？係咪啲怪會勁啲啊？藍衫？
唔
我
係，
屌，惡魔
又係搞
圖片
村民先。藍衫煩係煩在佢啲人口同木會溝，唔係啲量多，量係一樣嘅。
哦，
喂，
我李
搞
Sir
村民啦，
嗰啲好勁，
村民要死啦又。
村民睇係幾多隻啊？到底得一隻牧師，
呢一波得一隻，
係
咁慘。
上面都守得住，有料喎。
佢啲城牆起得十分好。
係啊，好靚。
唉，起塔等到幾廿世都未人升完啊！黐鬼線嘅塔只可以一開始早期只可以升一隻高級嘅話，
係啊，
如果唔係好似咁樣等死人啊！
哇！塔我真係唔識話個塔嘅。
超級兵我都出到嚟啦，塔都未得升完啊！我井衣都出得啦已經。
啲塔有啲難升，
哇！
啱住。
我爆咗12個就，我爆咗12個農田就冇咗500蚊收入。
係啊，
屌啊！
啲農田好高收入，一個等於50幾喎，一個農田50幾收入。
冇兵做咩？冇兵原因係咩先？唔夠錢唔夠木定咩？唔夠錢就冇可以俾你啊！50幾之後而家換撚咗民居咯，要慢慢洗牌洗牌。
點解冇兵啊？
喂，仆街！
好多井嘅嗰邊，調啲過嚟先。你哋有邊夠手嘅？
我前面都播
上面
緊井衣俾你
難啲喎，上面好似
咩啊？
我驚上面唔夠手嘅。
喂，阿 Sam，你呢條城牆爆一個先啊！
爆得到？哦，好啊，
俾我行出去。
你等下自己起翻喎。
好。
我去爆嘢先，我都真係要爆嘢，唔爆嘢唔掂。
我井衣出緊嚟前線㗎。
OK。哇！嗰啲冰塔啊，好勁啊！啲冰塔，睇住。
1000攻擊距離，1000攻擊距離，即係得3槍兵可以 A 到佢喎。
係啊。
屌，即係焗住玩3罐槍兵。
但係井衣拍幾下就死喎嗰啲。我屌！快手啊！
又嚟啦，右邊。村民啦，村民啦，村民啦。
哇！救人！
哇！屌佢老母啊！
做嘛？
掘礦機，
哇！呢個好撚殘啊！
掘礦機係要打晒側邊嗰啲絲，如果唔係佢就幫人哋回血。
我拉入嚟打先，拉入嚟打。
佢哋應該 OK 嘅，喺呢度要拉一拉咯。
我呢度啊，
得過緊黑好事。
小事嘅啫。
傻仔
你話後欄啊？
我有井衣同埋長中，傻仔嚟嘅啫呢班。
繼續。冇撚有票咁滯。
以期話有 feel，我係希望打到順暢啫。
打到嘅。
你準備救科學家未啊？
科學家喺邊度咧？我揾人啊，唔記得喺邊。
喪屍研發基地，你畫出嚟先。
科學家喺實驗室。
哇！好幽默。
喪屍研發基地喺邊度啊？
我揾人啊，好似喺右下，唔知係咪？
右下咪過右下打咯。
咦？唔係喎，喺邊度啊？喺呢度啊？
哇！轉頭過去打咯。
你而家直接過去打。
可以。
人口高咗喎。點解嘅？
本身上下係300嘅 suppose 上嚟講。
係咯，高咗。啱啱先睇到。傾晒左邊就去打咯。爆呢個先。
爆緊啦。
OK。爆啲高級冰床啊，冇乜用。
呢度有個老塔可以爆佢慳人口。
好啊。 但係嗰邊唔要，
再幫佢咯。
氣眼氣眼，
你拎啲劍士過嚟幫佢咯。
邊啲人
成衣
出緊我有邊？你人大支，你人大咯，
可以起嘢拖嘛，城牆嗰啲
係咯。
城牆升級咗上去都打唔入嚟住嘅。紫色而家付緊收入嘅喎，紫色冇辦法再出兵嘅喎。
咩啊？
紫色付咗收入，付咗104。
做咩啊咁？
你會每一彎扣緊收入咯。
你啊！我依家嗰邊清咗嗰邊先再搞啦，我有錢。